Welcome back, Frugal Minded. We are continuing on with our part 2 of this series of the path to being a millionaire. What we have now is the phase 2, which I call the growth phase. Let's take a recap on what happened in first phase, which is your commitment phase. You ended up in phase 1 with saving about $81,000. You put $50,000 into a $250,000 home as your primary residence, and also you will be renting that home out to your friends or other roommates so that you can generate investment income to help you offset your bills. So let's go into the second phase, which is going to be the growth phase of this plan. What you have is you are moving to another job. You have accumulated enough skills that you are now looking or have gotten a $60,000 job at this point in time. That is very critical. Your income has to go up as you move along this path, and also your side hustle, which is something that you enjoy doing, is also making you money. Whatever that may be. If you enjoy photography, that is something you should make money out of. You like dog walking, babysitting homes, whatever it is, make sure that you are generating money out of it. And I'm gonna do a separate video on what are some of the best side hustles that you can do to get extra income. We have to continue on phase 2 with those 3 key things that we are successful in phase 1. You have to still put 60% of your income from your day job aside. You are still continuing on with your side hustle, and then you are renting out your 2 other bedrooms for income. Then the goal, this is what we're trying to achieve at the end of the second phase. You will be saving enough money to buy a second investment property at the end of this 3-year phase. Let's take a look at the numbers of what you can get done with this commitment to saving. We are still following the same formula. You are still saving 60% of the after-tax income from your day job. 40% of that is going to your bills, whether you have a car loan, whether you have a loan from your schooling, anything like that. So let's run through the numbers. Starting in year 5, your income is $60,000. You're gonna be growing that 10%. Make sure you're finding a way to show value at work and that you are getting a 10% increase in salary. And what I want you to also know is that as you head to year 7, try to see if you can make a jump for $80,000. That is your target goal. So your net income after taxes, you're looking at about $45,000 in year 5, $49,500 in year 6, and then $60,000 after taxes. You're gonna be in a higher tax bracket, and you're gonna be saving in those 3 years $27,000, $29,700, and then $36,000. What you have at that point is $92,700. That is what you should be expected to save in those 3 years. At the same time, you are going to be growing your side hustle. So the income that you're generating from your side hustle will also be increasing. You should be making about $21,000, $22,000 in year 5. Year 6, you should be making about $24,000, $25,000. And then in year 7, you're looking at about $26,000 income from your side hustle. Obviously, there's taxes, you look at the net income line, but that amount now should be enough to cover your housing. You're still looking to pay only about $800 a month for housing, but that's just the cost that I've built in. Don't forget, from what we were doing in phase 1, you have 2 roommates and you should really just be paying about $300 at that point for all your fees. What I want you to do is look at ways to save money by cutting out costs of cable, costs of internet, if there's any packages going on, so that you can save as much money as possible. Here, this path is a conservative model that still has you paying $800 for your housing. But we know that number could be lower, so just focus on lowering your costs to see if you can keep it to the 300 number. That extra money that you are going to have should go into your saving and start looking at alternative investments, such as putting it in an index fund or putting it into something like a REIT, which I will do a separate video on, so that you can be getting another source of income that's generated from the money that you are saving. Let's talk about the payoff of what you're going to get for all the hard work that you are going to be putting in. Your reward is going to be your second investment property that you will have at the end of year 7, which you will be purchasing. Now, this investment property, I am going to suggest that you should be buying a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And the simple reason for that is that there is a high demand from families that like to rent homes for that size. And at the same time, it is also a home that will sell very well if you ever need to sell that property. You should be looking at a property that is going to be a little more expensive now than your first property. What I suggest is a $325,000 home, and you will be looking at about 4% interest rate. I'm just upping the interest rate to build a little buffer for you. I like to go with a conservative number. You are going to put 20% down. And the reason, again, that you're putting 20% down is to avoid the PMI, which is your mortgage insurance. You do not want to pay that if at all possible. And that's why I've been telling you to put money aside. You are going to be taking a mortgage of $260,000. You're going to have a little more income that's going to be coming in from this property because you're renting a larger home. Let's take a look at the property tax that you'll be paying for this property. You are looking at about $3,500 a year. That comes out to be about $292 a month. You're gonna need some insurance for your property, $1,500, and also that comes out to $125 a month. And then you also have HOA that built in for about $100 a month. And the total, if you look at your cost line, is gonna be about $1,758. What you should be doing is looking for a property that you can rent for at least $2,000. And the reason I say that, at least $2,000, is that rent you collect will offset all of your mortgage costs, all of your other costs related to taxes, insurance, so that you will be having someone pay off your mortgage so that you are generating equity within this property. In this path that I've shown you, you are renting the home as an example for $2,000. Generally, that's a conservative number for a home of this size, especially what we have here in Orlando. You can probably rent it for $2,100, $2,200, but I want to give you a little cushion. So you should be looking at a profit of about $242, which is not bad. Now, let's take a look at what we need to do as we move into phase 3. And again, all the things that you are doing in phase 1, such as working on your resume, enhancing your skills so that you can make more money on your day job, enhancing your skills so that you can also get more money from your side hustle, are still very critical. We are trying to keep our costs low and at the same time growing the amount of income that we're getting from all the skills that we have as we're growing into this millionaire mindset. Now, before we get into phase 3, I want you to know that by now you have 2 properties. You also have a good savings plan. Your assets are growing. You're putting money to work for you. And I'm gonna take you into phase 3 of what you need to do to supercharge eventually all of your assets to grow into being a millionaire. Thank you, and stay tuned.